Hello and welcome to the Lucian video tutorial series. This is the first of a multi-part series on document separators. Now let's pause for a second and talk about what document separators are. Here's the concept. It's much faster to scan if you don't have to scan a single document at a time. What FileCenter allows you to do is take multiple documents, put them in a stack, scan the entire stack, and then FileCenter will break apart the documents into individual files for you, saving you quite a bit of time and effort. Now, the way FileCenter is able to do that is through document separators. A document separator is simple. It's just a sheet of paper with some special codes on it that you insert into your stack of documents at whatever point you want a new document to begin. After FileCenter scans the stack of documents, it's going to look for those separators, and every time that it finds one, it's going to peel off the following pages into a new document. Now, when you scan, there's a special setting that you've got to make sure you use in order to make this work. And you'll notice it's right here under the OCR tab, which might seem a little bit unintuitive, but the fact of the matter is, this is part of the OCR process. FileCenter is looking for some special text on these separator pages, and that's how it knows that it's a separator. And here's your setting right here, Process Separators. As long as you have that selected, FileCenter is going to look for separators in your scan. Now let's go ahead and do a scan so that you can see some separators and see how this whole thing works. Okay, my pages have just come in from the scanner, but I paused the process before FileCenter could do anything with the separators so that you can see what's happening. What I have here is 6 document pages, which are just numbered pages here so that you can see what's happening better. And then you'll notice that I've separated those with these. I've inserted these separators at 2 points in the document. Taking a closer look at it, this is one of FileCenter's document separators. I was able to print this from FileCenter earlier, and I'll show you how to do that shortly, and now I've just inserted it twice into my scan. When FileCenter goes through and examines this scan, it's going to spot these 2 separators, and where it sees the separator, it's going to sever the scan at that point and start a new document. So once this is all done, we should end up with 3 2-page documents. Okay, I'm going to unpause FileCenter now so that it can go ahead and process these separators. But realize that when you scan, this is going to be one continuous operation. Okay, now notice what's happening below. OCR is running, checking each one of the pages, and as it goes through, it's looking for these document separators. Okay. And there we go. It's now taken that one document and broken it into 3 documents in just the way we would have expected. 2 pages in each one of the documents. So that gives you an idea of what separators do. They take one stack of documents and break it apart into separate documents. And now I would need to go through and save each one of these files individually. Now let's pause for a moment and show you how to print your own separators. Separators are managed from the Separators button up here on the main toolbar. And I will note that separators are a feature of FileCenter Professional. If you're using FileCenter Standard, you won't have any of these buttons or any of these options. When I click the Separators button, it gives me a list of all of my separators. Now, FileCenter always comes with this first separator right here, which is called the generic separator. And that's what we've been using so far. The only thing the generic separator does is split apart documents. It does nothing more. In future videos, we'll show you how to create your own separators, which can do things like route your documents into subfolders, automatically name them for you, and do some nice things like that. But for now, with the generic separator, in order to be able to use this, you need to print copies of it. So just select it and click Print, and print as many copies as you need, and then insert those into your documents wherever you want separation to occur. So far we've been doing all of our scanning in the PDF editor so that you can see what happens as the scans come in and as FileCenter processes the separators. But now let's switch over to the Manage view to see what happens when you scan directly into one of your file cabinets. Let's go ahead and start a new scan. And this scan is going to be exactly the same as my last scan. I'm going to have 2 pages, then a separator, 2 pages, separator, and then a trailing 2 pages. So I should end up with 3 2-page files. Now I'm going to leave the name as New Scan. Remember, when you scan with separators, the important setting is right here, process separators. Make sure that's selected, and let's go ahead with our scan. Okay, my new document has just arrived, and if you look down on the status bar, you'll see that FileCenter is going through each page in this document looking for separators, and every time it finds a separator, it's going to split the document apart at that point, which has just happened. You see that our document is now broken up into 3 documents, just like we would have expected. Let's take a look at this really quickly. Okay, first document has 2 pages in it. Next document has the next 2 pages. And of course, the last one is going to have the last 2 pages. Now, one thing I want you to notice that we didn't bring up before, FileCenter is going to remove the separators every time that it finds them. Separators don't end up in the resulting document. Also notice the way that these documents have been named. Now, as we said before, this is the generic separator, and all that the generic separator does is split apart a document. It does nothing more than that. So each one of the documents received the same name that the original scan had. In our case, that was just new scan. But if you had named this document something different, each one of these documents would have that name followed by an increment. Now, in the future videos on separators, we're going to teach you how to make separators that will give documents better names, and even more importantly, these separators can actually route your documents into specific folders and do quite a bit of organization for you. So be sure to stay tuned for the next videos in the series.